Today's episode is with Jenny Grafton. Jenny is an amazing Round Hill resident, single mom, business owner, absolutely fabulous. I cannot wait to introduce you to her. She owns Jenny's Hair Salon in Purcellville, Virginia, and her salon is awesome. And what I noticed most about her is just her positive attitude and how she loves going to work. She loves the people she gets to serve, her clients, and she also loves who she gets to work with, which is such a blessing to have an environment like that for work. So I'm so excited. This is a series. It's the 40 Under 40 series. So I won 40 Under 40 back in the day. And so there were 40 other people that won at the same time. And I'm going to interview them and find out where are they now. And so enjoy this episode of Enjoy Loudoun with Jenny Grafton. All right. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us on the Enjoy Loudoun podcast, where we get to interview amazing people, local Loudoun celebrities, and get to hear about their story and their business and kind of where they're headed and what's happening now. So I'm so excited about my guest today, Jenny Grafton from Jenny's Salon right in Purcellville, Virginia, our very own. Hey, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to do this. I'm so excited to be asked. And I loved winning 40 Under 40. It was something I really wanted. So it's so great to be able to revisit it.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about, your life and your business, and it's going to be exciting. And you've got a lot of stories to share, I know. And you help a lot of people in chairs, and you hear a lot of stories of theirs. So
I do.
There is some client, confidentiality, I'm sure, but we can talk about you.
Yeah. All day, every day.
All day.
I'm an open book.
Hey, let's go back to the beginning. I love to know where people grew up, what their family was like. Tell me a little bit about Jenny as wee Jenny.
I was a handful. Okay. I was super bored and curious all the time, and I was always in trouble. And I was very rambunctious and a tomboy. And my dad was a naval aviator, so we moved all over the country. Okay. And we settled in Fairfax County, which was great. It was very rural then. It was literally 28 and 29 were like a stop sign. Like there was cows everywhere. And I grew up in Clifton, and I loved it. It was great. So, and then, started doing hair, apprenticed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because at a young age? Like what age?
Like 16. I started working in my own salon, and I actually did not love hair at all. I looked at it and I was like, I could do this. But it wasn't like I played with everyone's hair or anything. I was like, I love the atmosphere of a salon and how happy people are and how they leave feeling like amazing, and they're like flipping their hair everywhere. And you're just like, I want to do that.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
So that's how it started.
Yeah, really helps lift up their lives, no matter what they're going through. Like
especially moms, because moms, I mean, they just do for everyone.
Yeah,
for them to have that time and that peace and then leave. And like when they get in their car, the rear view mirror comes down and they're like putting lipstick on. Like I can look down on the parking lot from the salon, and every time I see someone go to their car and put their lipstick on, I'm like, yes, we did it.
We did it. The final
great.
touch.
Feels good.
That's really cool. Well, we jumped ahead. We did.
We
which is totally fine.
We skipped around.
Totally fine. Do you have any what was your first accomplishment as a kid? It doesn't have to be even within business, but something you were like, oh man, I remember that from way back.
I was 4, and I was in swim team, and I was the youngest kid on the team. Okay. So my heat was very small. So it actually wasn't that big of an accomplishment because there's 4 4-year-olds in the whole league. But I made all-stars. And
nice.
My parents were so proud, and the whole team, because I was so little, were carrying me around and cheering for me, and I got medals, and so that was the first.
Oh, that's cool.
That was my first memorable accomplishment.
Yeah. That's awesome at a young age.
Yeah.
So cool.
Glory days.
All right, so tell me a little bit about your life now, family now, where you live.
My life now is literally the best. I mean, I just could not be any more blessed or any more happy or any more grateful. My business is doing great. I work with women that I adore, literally adore. My mom moved back up here 3 years ago. She lives a block from me, so I see her every day. My dad passed away, and that's kind of was the impetus for me to move her up here. So my daughter's at Virginia Tech. She is my whole world. like
Go
everyone's
Hokies.
kids are. Go Hokies.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of her. I just cannot even, I'm just bursting with pride.
Yeah.
So honestly, I have the best friends. I love Purcellville. I love everything about Western Loudoun. And I'm just happy and I love it here. And my life now is just really about the salon, and really, honestly, I work too much, but I love what I do.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't feel that way at
that's
all.
great.
I mean, everyone's like, you work too much, but I love what I do. I have never gotten up one day and said, I don't want to go to work today. Even when I'm sick, I like still want to go.
Yeah.
So
Let's like pause there for a minute, because I think so many people, they might not hate their jobs, but they don't love their job like you
it's
do.
like an obligation.
Totally.
And they're just, drudging along and doing what they have to do for their families, which is totally admirable. But I'm blessed that I knew what I wanted to do early, and I committed to it and did what I needed to do. And I know what a blessing it is and what an advantage it is to know what you want to do and love it. And just literally, if someone comes in and no one has time, I'm like, I'll do it. And they're like, you're the owner. And I'm like, I want to do your hair. You're like, I can't wait to do it. You know, that's how I feel about it. And
that's cool.
I know that's such a blessing and such an advantage, but it's really been such a joy. Like, my life has been such a joy from that business. It feeds my soul.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Being a small business owner is so tough.
So tough.
And you get into it so you can have more time and more freedom.
No,
and you end up
not the
working
case,
harder
though.
and harder and harder. But it's something that you love. And so, when it's enjoyable, then it doesn't feel like work all the time.
Totally. And the stuff that I really hate is like the money stuff and the paper stuff and the filing stuff and like that stuff.
The taxes?
Oh, everything. Anything with paper, banks, all of that, I hate it. But it's a necessary evil. I mean, you can't pay the people you love if you don't do that stuff.
Can't do it. Well, let me ask you this. How did you end up in Loudoun County? So you were in Fairfax, like that.
I worked in McLean, and I was a single mother, and my daughter was 3. And we lived in McLean, which was great. I love McLean. They have so diverse, so cultural, obviously a beautiful place to live. But it was very, like, my neighbors didn't know my name. It was not community.
Yeah.
So I moved to Western Loudoun because my ex-sister-in-law lived out here, and she would watch my daughter when I would teach the apprentices on Sundays. And when I came out to Round Hill, I literally called it Far Hill. Like, I made fun of how far it was and how it was like in the sticks.
Yeah.
And I was early one day, and I drove through the town of Round Hill, and like there was this guy sitting on his front porch in like a wife beater, and he was like rocking back and forth, just sitting there, like nowhere to go, nowhere to be. And I was like, that's what I want. That's what I want.
Yeah.
And actually, the house next door to him was for sale, and that's my house.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I've lived there like almost
awesome.
18 years now, and I love it. I love everything about Round Hill.
Did you get to know that neighbor?
Yeah, his name was Mr. Clark, and he was literally like 100 before his kids, I think, took him to a facility, assisted living.
Yeah.
I think his kids still live in Round Hill, actually, but he had this like hand plow that he would till the soil with. Like, he had these rows and rows of tomatoes, and he would bring me these huge bags of like the most gorgeous tomatoes, but he'd like leave them on my front porch. But like, it's just me and Jada, my daughter, and I was like, I have to do something with these tomatoes. And I was like making salsa, and I was like making sauce because I just could not let him go to waste. Because this poor old guy was just like plowing, it was like such a labor of love. So he was so great. He was awesome.
That's awesome.
I loved him.
Well, you want to stay young, have a garden, and work on it every day.
No, seriously.
Get you out of the
I
house.
actually do plant a lot of stuff, and I have a greenhouse window, and I love orchids. So I know how difficult it is to get any sort of success in the soil.
Yeah.
It's like completely, it's like luck and sunshine. That's it.
Yeah. That's cool. We live in Round Hill too, as you know.
Yeah.
And it is a little bit of like just that classic Americana, small town.
Slice of life.
You know your neighbors.
I tell people all the time, I love that there's people in my neighborhood that are like old and young, and people walking their dog, and people who just moved there and they don't know where anything is. And I loved it when the Round Hill store was still Mr. and Mrs. Milligan. Like, I cut her hair for years.
Oh my gosh.
I loved Mr. Milligan. Every time I would go in there, I'd be you just buy beer at a convenience store, and he called me party girl, like, every time. And I was like, it's just beer. Like, this isn't a party. I'm just having a beer. He was so funny. So funny.
They were a great couple.
It was like that's the thing about Round Hill. It has personality. Yeah. It's like a collection of characers.
A collection of characters.
Everyone doesn't look the same. Everyone doesn't drive the same car. It's like, I love it.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. All right, tell me a little bit about your business. How did you get started? What did Jenny's Salon's not always what we see today?
No, it was not. It was very different when it started. Well, when I moved out to Round Hill, I was commuting, and my daughter was going to have to go to elementary school, which I couldn't wait for her to go to Round Hill. So I was with a conundrum because you have to get your kindergartner off the bus. So, and I didn't know anyone out here. So my dad actually said to me, he's like, you have this huge garage. It is huge. It's like a barn. It's humongous. He's like, why don't you convert like half of it? And I was like, okay. So that's what I did. And I actually cut my prices because I was in McLean. So I was doing like $128 haircuts. And I cut them all the way to like $45 back then. And it started really slow. And then it just got to be too big. And coincidentally, at the same time, she was like in 5th grade. Yeah. So I moved to Purcellville, and that's been 9 years since we've been in Purcellville, and that it's just ballooned from there. Like I can't even believe how much it's grown. Like sometimes I walk in there and I'm like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, well, look at all this that's going on in here, but it just organically happened, and every single person that's come to me has been such a blessing and has added something new to the team. So it's great, but it did start in my garage.
Started in the garage.
And during the pandemic, we went back to the garage and worked there, just one-on-one. And it was all the people that started with me there were like, here we are again in the garage. And I was like,
back
that's
to
what we're
roots.
doing. Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was like a full circle moment.
That's cool. So it's kind of like, if you have a dream, if you want to go chase after a new business, like just get started.
Just start.
Yeah.
Just start. And honestly, I was still working in McLean and I was kind of half and halving it. And if you want to start a business, you can't. You have to need it to work. It has to be like a hunger. You can't be like, I'm going to do this on Saturdays only. It just doesn't work. If you want it to go, you've got to give it everything you got.
I totally agree.
Days, nights, everything.
Everything, all in.
I worked 7 days for like 4.5 years.
Oof.
I mean,
it's exhausting.
But I loved it. I mean, it really wasn't, and I could do it while my daughter was in school, and then later she would be at friend's house. I just made it work. And that's actually how Jenny started, because I take great pride in being able to have a flexible schedule for my girls, because they're all moms. And if you ask a woman to choose between going to their kids' thing and working, they're going to choose their kid every day. So in my salon, we don't ask anybody to choose at all.
That's cool.
I mean, if there's frivolous days off, then that's annoying for, something you could take care of in your day off.
Right.
But if it's for your kids and it's for your family, it's a total flexible work schedule.
That's such a great core value.
Yeah.
It's like family first.
Totally.
And then you've got girls who want to be there, who are happy to be there, who know you are like, it's about their lives and not just the business.
And they get that I understand what their life is, and that pull between family and children and work, and it's just a perfect balancing act, and it's so hard to do. It really is. So I try to be as flexible as I can as far as those things, because you never get to go back to kindergarten and be like the kindergarten mom and like help in the class,
No.
And your kids aren't even that excited for you to be in school after like 3rd grade.
No.
In 2nd grade, they're like, that's my mom.
Awesome.
My mom's bringing cookies, and then in middle school they're like, Mom, get out of here.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. All right, this is a chance that you get to brag on yourself. So this is not a self-induced brag. This makes
me super uncomfortable.
You're invited. What makes your salon so special? Why is it, people come and come back?
I think because it's a small town business, and I know almost everyone that walks through that door, whether I do their hair or not. And it's because I'm there all the time. And I think that all the stylists really know everybody that's in and out of there. So it feels like home. We try to make it as comfortable as possible. And we make sure that people are comfortable when they're there. Yeah. We have heated blankets, we have wine, we have beer. If you need to charge your phone, whatever needs to happen, we can order lunch for you. We just try and make sure that their experience is relaxing for them, and it feels comfortable. Like when I worked in McLean, all my clients, when they came out to Round Hill, when I opened my salon, they all said, I felt like I had to get dressed up to go to the salon. So we are all extremely casual. And we have a really good rapport. There is no drama. I have a 0 drama tolerance policy in my salon. We don't even have a
Wait, you have a salon with no drama?
No drama. And if there is a disagreement, we nip it in the bud. But honestly, that's the thing that kills a business is all of that talk. And it's such a waste of energy. Yeah. I mean, that energy could be put into so many different things that help the business grow. It's just a total waste of time. Yeah. And it's hurtful. And we're doing this to build women up, not to tear women down, so
I love that.
I do not tolerate it. And I think people can feel that we like really love each other. Like we laugh and we sing if there's a good song on, like we act like crazy in there, and it's fun.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Who wouldn't want to be?
Right.
Who wouldn't want to go there?
Dance party.
All right. So my wife goes there. She sees
she does, Megan.
Rami. Mm-hmm. Yep, Megan. And as I was leaving today, I'm like, why do people go to Jenny's salon? She's like, they do great color.
We do great color.
I'll brag on you a little bit. Great color. If you're looking to color your hair, there's no better place. And it says something about you, too, that people were traveling from McLean to Round Hill, Farville, or whatever you call it.
That was Far Hill. That was the thing. It's like the people weren't like using the internet back then. Like it was like you had to find them in like white pages or something crazy. People were like looking me up and like, it was just so flattering. I was like, I can't believe you drove this far.
That's awesome.
Like, honestly. So, those people, I literally still have some of those clients, and I love them. I would do anything for them.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Business is tough. What sacrifices have you had to make, or are you currently making to make the business successful?
Well, actually, we're in kind of a good and bad spot right now. We have 14 stylists, and 7 of those women have been doing hair for over 20 years. They're fully booked and they are extremely successful, but their price point is where a person with 20 years experience should be. And all of them have little kids, and they don't want to work on weekends because that's when the soccer games are and that's family time. So we're sort of short-staffed on the weekends, and we have hired 3 junior stylists, and they're amazing and they're great and they're so energetic. The amount of energy they have is like exhausting. They talk so much and they're so excited. You forget how that age of it's crazy, but they're so talented. But I'm basically working weekends because my daughter's gone at school. Like, what am I doing all day? Yeah. So I've been working weekends, and I actually don't mind. I love getting the time with the junior stylist because during the week it's so crazy in there. They don't get a lot of time to mentor them or see how they're doing or check in on them. So it's been nice. I wouldn't even call it really a sacrifice, but it's unusual for the owner to be like there Saturdays and Sundays because you just don't see it that much. But it's been fun for me though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. What about any setbacks along the way? So you've been in business for how long since the garage?
2005.
Okay. So we talked about dates as well. Those are
2006.
It's a long time.
It is a long time. It seems like 7 million years.
Have you had any major setbacks that you're like, I don't know if we can survive this?
Yeah. Yes, COVID.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. That was the worst year of my life, literally. Personally also, but professionally it was. Because I didn't really feel like I was that good of a boss before then. I didn't feel comfortable in that role. I knew I was good at doing hair. Yeah. But I felt weird being people's bosses and like telling them, that, you can't do that or, we have to talk about this. I just didn't like that part of it. And it was just nobody knew what to do. It was so unprecedented and it was so shocking and like when they shut us down, it was just like the craziest thing ever. I mean, it just felt like Armageddon or something. It was just that crazy, and I was so worried. And I couldn't give people their paychecks till I got the PPP or whatever, and that felt terrible. It feels like not being able to feed your kid. Like that's how it felt. It was, and there's like 34 of them, so
oh my gosh,
it was so much. But we figured it out. We did, and we actually came through it stronger than we were before. I mean, I think that's another thing about the team is like we got through that together, and it was horrific. Everybody was so stressed out and crying and handling it different ways, and it was like, and we were just doing it. We had take-home color kits. We were delivering products to people. Then we started doing hair in the garage. I mean, it was crazy. But you have to pivot. You have to figure it out. And I think COVID really separates the people who are like, all right, we're going to do this, and people who are like, I can't do this, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, to each his own. But we really had that was like, I don't know. I didn't tell anyone that, but I was like, I don't know if we're going to survive this. I don't know how this is going to work.
None of us knew. I mean, we were entering something that we had no idea how long this was going to be.
It was the scariest thing.
Yeah.
I totally said to everyone before, I was like, they're not going to shut us down. They won't do that. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's ludicrous.
Yeah.
And then they did, and we were all just like, actually, Carolyn Toohey was in my chair when they shut us down, when the Northam came on. And we literally sat there. I was foiling her hair, and I'm sobbing, and she's sobbing, and we're like hugging, and she has foils in her hair. And it was like, I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Gosh.
It was crazy.
All the reason to support small businesses, because this is it, right?
Totally.
This is it. This has got to succeed.
And
to
kudos
feed the
to
family
Purcellville and Round Hill and Western Loudoun because they did. They showed up. People bought gift cards and still haven't used them. We had people buying product, like ridiculous amounts of product that they couldn't use in 2 years. Like we had people supporting left, right, and center. And it was really, really beautiful to see. It just solidifies how you feel every day in Round Hill and Purcellville and Western Loudoun.
Yeah.
But to see people really rally around you is just, it just takes your breath away. I mean, it's humbling. Cool. And we're all so grateful that we made it, but it was touch and go there for a little while. I was like, whoa.
Go Western Loudoun.
Yeah.
Go people. All right. We're going to do, what's next for you?
I don't know. Everyone's asked me that, and they're like, "Are you gonna expand? Are you gonna have?" I just don't want to. Like, I don't want to have it be too big.
Yep.
I don't want to have a second location because people want to see the owner in the business.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how I could be in two places at one time.
Right.
And I don't want to take my eye off the ball, and the quality and the feeling and the atmosphere suffers. So I don't know. I honestly. With the salon, really, I'm focusing on the junior stylists and hiring people out of school so that we'll have a lower price point. We'll be able to service people in a convenient time for them over the weekends. But really, I don't know. I really don't.
That's okay. You just keep doing a good thing.
Yeah.
Bigger is not always better.
Yeah, and I just don't want it to be like feel like a chain or It doesn't feel like that now, and it would devastate me if it ever felt like that. If anyone ever gave me feedback like it felt that way, I would be the worst thing you could say to me. It really would. It would be so bad. So I don't really know.
Okay. Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
Stay the course. Stay the course. All right, we're gonna go to the fire round here.
Oh,
okay.
no.
So this is the Enjoy Loudoun podcast. We're gonna find out what you enjoy about living in Loudoun. So I've got a few questions. Here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What is your favorite restaurant in Loudoun County?
Okay, so the PR answer, my PR answer is...
Oh, geez. Okay.
Magnolia's.
All right.
But I have to tell you, I love Tammy's Diner.
Oh, yes. Yes.
It's so good.
Shout out to Tammy.
Tammy.
Yeah.
I've been going there since I lived here. I love it there. I love the people that are there. The food is so delicious. It's so dinery.
So cool.
It's got such heart. I love it.
Can I share a story with you?
Yes.
All right. So we're coming out from Fairfax too, and went to Tammy's Diner. They can tell it's me and my wife, our four
They're
young,
like, you're
really
new here.
These guys are new here. And we're just kind of sitting, waiting, and I'm kind of looking around the room, and one of the locals, the regulars, you can tell.
Oh, you know who?
They're at their table.
They have their own table. It's a club.
Yep, and they looked, and they noticed, oh, these guys are new. And this guy's looking around, and Tammy's busy, and so he comes over to the table and says, what do you need? And I was like, oh, I'm thinking he doesn't work here. He's just whatever, but he's asking what I need. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I would really love some sausage gravy to go, with these home fries.
Yeah, those home fries.
And he gets up, he goes into the kitchen, into the back, brings out a little cup of sausage gravy. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could do that here, Forgive me if there's any kind of reason why he shouldn't have done that as a person.
Right, don't tell.
But it was like, this is awesome. Like he knows the owner. This is small town. He's like, somebody needs something. I'm going to step up and help them. And I know Tammy's not going to mind if I help them. And, it was just amazing. I'm like,
I love
this
them.
Place is
like you get up
awesome.
and refill your own drink and it's the best. I love it there.
That's cool. I love that answer. All right. Where do you go socially to hang out?
The pub.
The pub. Purcellville pub. Okay. What about an annual event that you always look forward to?
My friend Dana Keene throws a Christmas party.
Awesome.
It's called The Night Before. It's on the 23rd of December.
23rd. It's a great.
It's the best party of the year. I also love the Bluemont Fair.
Oh, yeah.
I adore the Bluemont Fair. I try to go every year. I have posters all over my Airbnb of like all the Bluemont posters. I love that event.
Yeah, that's such a cool.
It's the best.
Cool event. Cool town too. Where do you go shopping?
I don't. I literally never leave Purcellville. I shop online.
So you need to get.
Oh, you
for
mean
somebody.
like for home decor? I go to Victoria's.
Oh yeah, Victoria's Pastime.
Yeah, that
Round Hill.
literally the best. She lives a block from me. I love her.
That's awesome. Outdoor activity.
I like to take walks around Round Hill.
Yeah.
A bunch of my friends have pools, so I would say that's probably
Get invited
the activity
over
I
too.
enjoy the most is going to their pools. But I usually take a walk with my mom, or we did it through the snow the last snowstorm. It was magic. It was so quiet and the snow, and I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. So
it is nice, and
it is.
They're putting in even more sidewalks. So
I don't even know what's going on there. I can't even comment on it, but it is chaotic, to say the least.
At the moment. All right, where haven't you been yet, but that you want to go?
The Maldives.
In Loudoun County.
Oh.
That's good too, though. That was quick. You're like, that was right on the top of your tongue.
I want to go. I used to go to Luckett's Spring Market every year, but I've never been to the Christmas market because that time of year for us is like crazy.
Bananas, yeah.
I've always wanted to go to the Christmas event in Luckett's.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. You have been an amazing guest
Thank
on
you.
the show.
I've really enjoyed it.
So this is so fun. All right, where can people connect with you? On social and location and everything else?
Me or the salon?
Either.
Okay. On Facebook, Jenny Grafton. On Instagram, I don't even know what my handle is, but just Facebook.
Facebook. Find me on Facebook.
Jenny Salon in Purcellville is on Facebook and on Instagram. I don't know what the handle is for Instagram either. This is so embarrassing.
That's okay.
But
Your physical location.
550 East Main Street, second floor, Purcellville.
Boom, right there.
Boom.
If you haven't checked it out yet, go ahead and check it out. Do yourself a favor. Obviously, you've heard from Jenny herself, and it's an awesome place to be.
Thank you.
Anyway, you've been so delightful to have, and I'm so thankful that you cut my wife's hair and make her look even more beautiful than she already is.
It's our pleasure. It's been a delight.
Thanks so
I've
much.
enjoyed it so much.
All right. I'll see you around Round Hill.
I'll be there.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.